Not every feeling is spoken out loud. Sometimes the people who care the most say the least. A woman who likes you might never openly admit it, at least not at first. Instead, her feelings quietly show up in the way she acts, the little details she remembers, and the subtle shifts in her energy when you're around. These aren't obvious declarations of affection. They're softer, hidden signs that reveal what words cannot. In this video, we'll explore 9 hidden signs she likes you but won't admit it. The small gestures, subtle patterns, and unspoken ways her feelings may surface. Each one tells a story of quiet admiration, and together they paint a picture that's often more honest than words could ever be. Number 1, she finds small excuses to be around you. When someone develops a quiet admiration for another person, it rarely begins with grand gestures or bold confessions. Instead, it often shows up in the little decisions, the subtle shifts, and the seemingly ordinary choices they make. One of the most telling signs that a woman may have a growing interest in you without saying it directly is when she finds small excuses to be around you. This behavior is not about chance. It's not coincidence that she ends up in the same place as you are, or that she extends conversations just long enough to stay by your side. Often, it is a reflection of comfort, curiosity, and an inner pull toward your presence. Let's explore why she might find small excuses to be around you with reasons that unfold gently and naturally. 1. She feels comfortable in your presence. When a woman enjoys being around you, she will naturally find ways to extend her time in your company. Comfort is one of the most powerful reasons people seek each other out. If your presence makes her feel at ease, less pressured, less guarded, she may create small reasons to linger, even if she doesn't openly admit, Maria mia, oh, uai dai, hi. Comfort is like a magnet. It draws her in quietly but steadily. 2. She values shared moments, even the ordinary ones. A powerful sign of admiration is when someone wants to share even ordinary experiences with you. If she finds excuses to be around you during simple everyday tasks, walking to a meeting, grabbing a cup of coffee, or discussing routine matters, it suggests that she values not just big events, but also the smaller slices of life spent near you. What might seem ordinary to others can feel meaningful to her, because the connection transforms simple moments into something more enjoyable. 3. She wants to learn more about you naturally. Instead of directly asking deep personal questions, she may position herself to learn about you through time spent together. Being around you allows her to observe your habits, notice how you treat others, and understand your personality in natural settings. By finding reasons to be close, she isn't only seeking your attention. She's also quietly gathering pieces of who you are. These details help her see the real you without forcing a conversation or making her feelings obvious. 4. She's testing the waters of connection. Sometimes being around you is a way for her to explore whether the connection feels mutual. By spending more time near you, she can sense whether you respond warmly, whether you enjoy her presence, and whether you show interest in keeping the interaction going. These little tests aren't manipulative, they're simply a cautious way of protecting her emotions while still leaning toward closeness. 5. Your presence lifts her mood. When someone consistently finds excuses to be around you, it often means your presence has a positive impact on how they feel. Maybe you make her laugh more easily, maybe she feels calmer when you're nearby, or maybe you bring a sense of stability to her day. This doesn't have to be spoken out loud. Instead, she just seeks you out more often, knowing that something about being near you adds brightness to her routine. 6. She trusts you more than others. Proximity often signals trust. If she chooses to spend more time near you compared to others, it could be because she feels a sense of reliability and safety in your presence. For example, she might choose to sit closer to you in a group, ask you for help instead of someone else, or walk alongside you even when she has other options. These subtle choices often reveal trust without her ever having to explain it. 7. She wants to be part of your daily rhythm. When admiration grows, people naturally want to weave themselves into each other's daily flow. If she finds excuses to cross paths with you, maybe timing her break when you do, or joining an activity she knows you'll be a part of, it's her way of gently blending her world with yours. She may not declare her intentions, but these small overlaps signal that she wants her presence to matter in your everyday life. 8. She doesn't want conversations to end too quickly. Another reason she might find excuses to be around you is her desire to extend conversations. She might bring up an extra point after the main discussion is finished, or ask a follow-up question that keeps you talking a little longer. This doesn't necessarily mean she always has something urgent to say. It means she values the time with you enough to stretch it out, even in simple ways. 9. She enjoys shared silence. Being around someone isn't always about words. Sometimes she finds excuses to stay near you, even when there's no conversation happening. This could be during a shared task, a group activity, or even just sitting quietly nearby. The fact that she doesn't rush away when there's no dialogue suggests she values your presence for what it is, not just for what is said. 10. She is looking for a sense of belonging. Human beings naturally seek belonging, and when a woman feels drawn to you, she may gravitate toward your presence as part of that search. Whether in a social group, a workplace, or a casual setting, she might position herself near you to feel that sense of inclusion and closeness. Her excuses to be near you are not about convenience. They are about quietly affirming that she feels a place beside you. Number 2, her energy shifts when you arrive. Human beings are naturally responsive to the presence of others. The energy in a room changes depending on who walks in, what kind of relationship exists, and the emotions tied to that presence. When it comes to a woman who genuinely values your presence, one of the clearest, though often subtle, signs is how her energy shifts when you arrive. This change may not be loud or dramatic, but it is noticeable in the small ways she acts, speaks, and carries herself. Below are thoughtful reasons behind this shift explained in detail. 1. She feels a lift in mood. One of the most natural responses is that her overall mood lightens when you arrive. Perhaps she was tired, distracted, or even slightly withdrawn before, but your presence creates a sense of relief or joy. People who bring comfort or positivity often have this effect on others. They spark a little light in the atmosphere simply by being there. 2. Her body language opens up. When you walk in, she may unconsciously adjust her body language. Her posture might become more upright, her shoulders more relaxed, or her gestures more expressive. This isn't about trying to impress, but rather about comfort and openness. Your arrival signals safety and familiarity, which naturally shifts how she physically presents herself. 3. Her focus redirects toward you. Even in group settings, you might notice her attention subtly shift in your direction. She may become more engaged in the conversation when you speak, or her eyes might naturally find you more than others. It doesn't mean she ignores everyone else, but there's a noticeable change in where her energy is centered. 4. Conversations take on more warmth. The tone of her voice may soften, her words may carry more warmth, and her responses may feel more thoughtful. Your presence can encourage her to be more expressive and genuine, as though the interaction holds greater value. This warmth reflects her comfort and interest, and it distinguishes your arrival from that of just anyone. 5. She shows renewed engagement. If she seemed distracted before, your presence might bring her back into the moment. She becomes more present, more active in discussions, and more eager to participate. This isn't forced. It's a natural shift that happens when someone feels uplifted by another's energy. 6. Small expressions of nervous excitement. Sometimes the shift in her energy isn't just calm openness, but a slight edge of excitement. She might fidget lightly, play with her hair, or adjust her belongings. Tiny signals of heightened awareness. These gestures are less about nervousness in a negative sense and more about the subtle ripple your arrival creates within her. 7. She mirrors your energy. Human connection often involves mirroring, where one person subconsciously reflects the body language, tone, or mood of another. When you walk in, she may adapt her energy to align with yours, becoming more animated if you're cheerful or calmer if you're composed. This mirroring is a sign of attunement and connection. 8. The atmosphere around her brightens. Not only does she change individually, but others may also pick up on the shift. Her laughter may come more easily, her involvement may become more enthusiastic, and her presence may feel more vibrant. People who influence her positively are noticeable because they elevate her entire interaction with the group. 9. She becomes more intentional. When you're around, her actions may carry more thoughtfulness. She listens more attentively, chooses her words with more care, or puts effort into making the conversation meaningful. It shows that your presence motivates her to bring her best self forward. 10. Time feels different with you around. Another sign of her energy shift is how her sense of time changes. She might become more animated, making moments feel fuller and faster, or she might grow quieter, savoring the interaction so it doesn't rush by. Either way, your arrival alters her pace and experience of the moment. Number 3, she remembers small details about you. In relationships, whether friendships, family bonds, or potential romance, attention to detail is one of the clearest signs of genuine care. When someone remembers the little things about you, it often means they're paying closer attention than most. It's not just about having a good memory. It's about valuing you enough to notice, store, and recall the parts of your life that others may overlook. When a woman remembers small details about you, it's rarely an accident. It reflects attentiveness, emotional investment, and a desire to make you feel seen. Below are several reasons why this quiet act matters so much and what it reveals about her feelings. 1. It shows you matter to her. Most people move through their day without storing every detail about everyone they meet. If she makes the effort to recall things you've said, like the name of your favorite author or how you take your tea, it means you occupy a meaningful place in her thoughts. Remembering details is her way of showing that you're not just another face in the crowd. 2. It reflects genuine listening. Listening and remembering go hand in hand. When she recalls something you said weeks ago, it shows she wasn't just waiting for her turn to talk. She was truly paying attention. This kind of active listening demonstrates respect and interest in who you are beyond surface-level conversations. 3. It creates a sense of connection. When someone recalls little details about you, it naturally strengthens the bond between you. She might mention something small like your favorite local cafe or bring up a story you told once. These moments make you feel understood and valued, building a subtle but powerful sense of closeness. 4. It means she sees the real you. Details reveal personality by remembering small things, your routines, preferences, or even quirks. She's showing that she sees beyond appearances. It's a way of recognizing your individuality. Instead of only focusing on the big, obvious things, she notices the smaller layers that make you unique. 5. It's her way of showing care without saying it. Not everyone is comfortable openly expressing their emotions. Remembering little details is often a quiet substitute for words. For example, she might recall your big meeting and ask how it went, or remember the day you said you weren't feeling well and follow up later. These small acts speak volumes about her care. 6. It demonstrates consistency. Anyone can remember something once, but when she consistently recalls details about your life, events, preferences, even conversations you barely remember yourself, it shows steady attentiveness. Consistency is one of the strongest signs of genuine interest because it's not based on a single moment, but on repeated effort over time. 7. It shows she values shared conversations. People remember what matters to them. If she recalls your words, it's a sign that your conversations aren't just passing moments. They hold weight for her. By storing these details, she's treating your exchanges as something valuable worth keeping in her memory. 8. It reflects emotional investment. Remembering details often requires emotional engagement. When she recalls what's important to you, it suggests she's investing part of her emotional energy into your world. This doesn't necessarily mean she's in love. It could be respect, admiration, or fondness, but it certainly points to a deeper level of care than casual interaction. 9. It often leads to thous. HTEFL actions. Memory isn't just about words, it often translates into gestures. She might surprise you with your favorite snack, send a quick message on a day you once mentioned as important, or bring up something you talked about long ago. These thoughtful actions, rooted in memory, reveal intention and effort. 10. It helps build trust. When someone remembers small details about you, it fosters trust. You begin to feel that she truly listens, values you, and won't dismiss the things you share. Trust often grows not from big promises, but from these small, reliable moments of being remembered and understood. 4. She gets slightly nervous around you. Human beings are complex, and so are their emotions. Often the most telling signs of how someone feels about you are not expressed directly in words, but rather in the small, almost unnoticeable behaviors that emerge in your presence. One of these subtle signs is nervousness. When a woman gets slightly nervous around you, it doesn't always mean she feels uncomfortable. In fact, quite the opposite. It can often mean you hold a special place in her mind. Nervousness in this sense is not fear-based, rather it comes from caring about how she is perceived, from valuing the interaction, and from the natural energy that arises when someone feels something deeper but isn't sure how to express it. In this article, we will explore unique, detailed reasons why she might get slightly nervous around you. Each reason is distinct, rooted in psychology and human behavior, and will help you better understand the silent language of emotions. 1. She values your opinion. One of the main reasons someone may get nervous in your presence is because they value what you think of them. When you respect or admire someone, their opinion suddenly carries more weight. For her, your reaction to her words, actions, or even appearance might feel important. This heightened awareness can make her nervous. She might double-check her words before speaking or pause longer than usual when answering your questions. It's not because she doesn't know what to say, it's because she wants to say it well. For example, imagine a person preparing for a meeting with someone they admire. They rehearse their lines, straighten their notes, and make small adjustments before walking in. Similarly, when she values your opinion, her slight nervousness is just a reflection of how much she wants to be understood and respected by you. 2, she wants to make a good impression. Everyone has experienced the feeling of wanting to leave a good mark on someone, whether in a job interview, at a new school, or meeting a respected elder. We naturally try to present our best selves. In her case, if she becomes slightly nervous around you, it may be because she wants to leave you with a lasting impression. She might laugh more than usual, check her posture, or seem a little restless. These aren't signs of discomfort, they're signs of effort. This type of nervousness is born out of care. She isn't trying to be someone else. She's just hoping the version of herself you see is one you'll remember positively. 3, she's afraid of saying the wrong thing. Words carry meaning, and sometimes they carry weight. If she feels that her conversations with you matter, she may be more careful in choosing what she says. That carefulness can show up as hesitation, nervous pauses, or small stumbles over words. Think of a student speaking in front of a teacher they admire. Even if the student knows the answer, the pressure of wanting to sound correct can bring about nervousness. The same principle applies here. She knows what she wants to say, but worries about saying it in a way that might come across the wrong way. This is a sign of deep attentiveness. Her nervousness isn't about fear of you, it's about wanting the connection to stay meaningful. 4, she feels excitement in your presence. Nervousness and excitement are two emotions that often feel very similar. In fact, psychologists note that both involve increased heart rate, heightened alertness, and extra energy in the body. The difference is simply interpretation. Is the energy seen as positive or negative? If she seems slightly nervous around you, it might not be anxiety at all. It could be excitement. Her laugh may come out quicker, her gestures may become more animated, or her words might speed up. These are signs of enthusiasm, not fear. She may look forward to your conversations more than you realize, and that anticipation shows itself in a slightly nervous energy. Number 5, she's more aware of herself around you. For many people, being around someone they care about triggers a heightened self-awareness. She might suddenly become more conscious of how she's standing, how she's speaking, or even how she's holding her hands. This isn't vanity. It's the natural response of someone who wants to present themselves well. The smallest details that usually go unnoticed become significant. She might fix her hair without thinking, straighten her clothes, or adjust her tone mid-sentence. This nervous self-awareness shows she's mindful of how she comes across to you, which means you sees your presence as meaningful. Number 6, she doesn't want to misspeak. Conversations matter deeply when feelings are involved. If she seems slightly nervous, it could be because she doesn't want to say something careless that might change the tone of the interaction. She might pause before answering, give thoughtful responses, or even circle back to correct herself. While this can look like nervousness, it's actually attentiveness. She doesn't want a light-hearted conversation to accidentally turn awkward because of a misunderstood comment. This nervousness is, in truth, a form of respect for your presence. Number 7, she's not usually this way. If she seems relaxed with others, but gets slightly nervous with you, that difference is telling. It's not that she's shy by nature, it's that you specifically bring out a different side of her. That unique shift suggests your presence carries more emotional weight for her. While she may speak freely with friends or colleagues around you, she becomes a little more careful, a little more alert. That contrast itself is a sign that you matter more than most people in her daily life. Number 8, she's unsure of how you feel. Uncertainty often creates nervousness. If she isn't sure about your feelings toward her, she might act a little restless, overthink her words, or seem hesitant in conversation. It's not insecurity, it's curiosity mixed with caution. She might wonder, does he enjoy talking with me? Does he notice my efforts? Do I matter to him the way he matters to me? This uncertainty naturally creates nervous energy which comes out in the way she carries herself around you. Number 9, she's trying to hide her feelings. Ironically, sometimes nervousness isn't about revealing emotions, it's about hiding them. When someone tries too hard to appear calm, the act itself can make them seem nervous. She might look away more often, keep her hands busy, or change the subject quickly when conversation gets personal. These behaviors are subtle ways of managing emotions she doesn't want to openly express. Her nervousness, then, is not a lack of composure, but rather an attempt to keep her feelings private. And lastly, nervousness can simply mean she cares. Every word, every laugh, every shared silence feels significant to her. That significance creates a natural pressure to make the interaction meaningful. She may lean forward when listening, nod often, or respond with more energy than usual. Her nervousness here is simply proof that she values your time and presence. This is perhaps the most important point. Nervousness is rarely about weakness. It's about care. Number 5, she engages more deeply in conversations with you. Human relationships are built on words, but it's never just about what is said, it's about how. When someone cares for you, admires you, or feels a growing connection, it often shows most clearly in the way they engage in conversation. Words become more intentional. Listening becomes sharper, and the simple act of talking turns into something meaningful. When a woman likes you but isn't yet ready to say it outright, one of the strongest clues often hides in her communication style. She won't just talk to you the way she talks to everyone else. Instead, she invests more attention, more thought, and more heart into your conversations. This doesn't mean she blurts out her feelings directly. Instead, her interest reveals itself in subtler ways: how she listens, the types of questions she asks, the details she remembers, and the way her energy shifts when you're speaking with her. Below, we'll explore in detail the many signs that show she is engaging more deeply in conversations with you and why this is such an important and meaningful signal. Number 1, she creates space for genuine dialogue. Most people rush through conversations. They ask a question, get an answer, and quickly move on. But when she likes you, she doesn't just make small talk. She creates space for meaningful dialogue. She doesn't just ask, "How are you?" and stop there. Instead, she pauses, leans in slightly, and truly waits for your response. When you answer, she doesn't brush past it. She follows up, drawing the conversation deeper. Creating conversational space shows that she values your thoughts enough to slow down and invest her time. It's not about filling silence, it's about making room for you. Number 2, she shares more of herself than usual. A woman who engages deeply doesn't only listen, she reciprocates. She begins to share things about her life, her thoughts, and her experiences that she might not normally reveal. For instance, she may tell you about a challenge she overcame, a dream she's working toward, or even a funny memory from childhood. These are not surface-level updates, they are glimpses into her world. Why does she do this? Because deeper sharing creates trust, and by letting you into her story, she's building a bridge of connection that goes beyond casual friendship. Number 3, she puts effort into keeping conversations alive. With many people, conversations end quickly. Short replies, awkward pauses, or a polite exit. But when she likes you, she makes small efforts to keep things flowing. Maybe she asks follow-up questions, adds her perspective, or shifts to a new topic when one starts to fade. These little efforts keep the conversation alive, showing that she doesn't want the moment with you to end too soon. This isn't about forced talk. It's about her natural desire to extend time with you through words. Number 4, she responds thoughtfully, not just quickly. It's easy to give quick one-word replies, but when she engages deeply, her answers show thought and care. If you ask her opinion, she doesn't just shrug. It's clear she has considered her response. For example, instead of just saying, "That's nice," she may explain why she feels that way, give examples, or even turn the question back to you. Her thoughtful replies reveal that she sees your conversations as meaningful exchanges, not just passing chatter. Number 5, she brings up past conversations naturally. One of the strongest signs of genuine engagement is when she remembers and revisits things you've said before. You might casually mention a goal, a book you're reading, or an event in your life. And weeks later, she asks how it went. This shows she not only listened, but cared enough to carry your words with her long after the moment passed. This kind of follow-up is rare. It reflects that your words had an impact and she values staying connected to your journey. Number 6, she balances speaking and listening. Well, good conversations are like a dance. Both people take turns. When she likes you, she doesn't dominate the conversation, nor does she stay silent. Instead, she creates balance. She listens carefully but also contributes openly. She asks questions but also shares her own perspective. This balance makes conversations with her feel easy, natural, and mutually rewarding, something she rarely invests this much energy in unless she cares. Number 7, she shows curiosity about your inner world. Surface-level questions are easy. What do you do for work? Or how is your weekend? But when she engages more deeply, her curiosity goes further. She may ask what motivates you, how you came to a decision, or what you've learned from past experiences. These are not casual questions. They're invitations to share your inner world. Curiosity is a sign of care. If she's interested in what shapes you as a person, it means she sees you as more than just another acquaintance. Number 8, she matches her energy to yours. Conversations are not only about words, they're about energy. If you're excited, she lights up with you. If you're reflective, she slows her pace. If you're frustrated, she listens with calmness and patience. This ability to adjust and match shows attentiveness. It's her way of signaling, I'm tuned in to you, I'm here with you. That kind of alignment rarely happens with people we don't value. Number 9, she invests emotion into the conversation. When she talks to you, her words carry feeling. You can hear it in her tone, see it in her expressions, and notice it in how she reacts. If you share good news, she celebrates with you. If you express worry, she shows empathy. Her emotions reflect that your experiences matter to her personally. Number 10, she doesn't rush away from conversations with you. In today's busy world, people often multitask or cut conversation. Ends short. But when she talks with you, she lingers. Even if she has somewhere to be, she doesn't seem in a hurry to wrap things up. This willingness to give you her time, even in small moments, speaks volumes. Time is one of the most valuable gifts someone can give. And if she offers it freely in conversation, it's a quiet but powerful sign of care. Number 11, she adapts to your communication style. Everyone has different ways of expressing themselves. Some people are more direct, others more reflective. When she likes you, she naturally adapts her style to meet you where you are. If you prefer thoughtful discussions, she slows down. If you enjoy humor, she matches your lightness. This adaptability shows that she values connection over just talking. Number 12, she encourages you to keep sharing. Sometimes when you tell a story, others just nod politely. But when she likes you, she encourages you to continue. She may say things like, "Tell me more," or ask additional questions to dive deeper. This encouragement shows she's not only interested in the headline of your story, but in the details that matter to you. Number 13, she remembers small details others forget. If you mention you had a big meeting, she asks how it went later. If you casually bring up your favorite food, she remembers it weeks down the line. These details might seem small, but they reveal focused listening. Remembering and recalling them later is her way of showing she treasures your words more than she admits. Number 6, she notices and responds to your mood. One of the most telling signs of genuine care and connection is when someone doesn't just hear your words, but also notices the emotions behind them. A woman who truly values your presence will pay attention to your mood, whether you're happy, quiet, or even struggling internally, and she will respond in ways that show thoughtfulness, empathy, and understanding. This isn't about dramatic gestures. Often, it's the quiet, subtle adjustments she makes that reveal the most. When she notices and responds to your mood, it speaks volumes about the depth of her attention and her willingness to meet you where you are emotionally. Here are some meaningful ways she does this. 1, she adjusts her tone and energy. When she senses that you're feeling low, she doesn't overwhelm you with excessive chatter or force you to match her energy. Instead, she softens. Her tone speaks calmly or matches her pace to yours. On days when you're joyful, she's quick to mirror that energy and celebrate alongside you. This ability to adapt shows she's tuned in to your emotional rhythm. 2, she gives you space when you need it. Not every mood calls for conversation. Sometimes silence or personal space is the best response. A woman who notices your mood will respect that unspoken boundary. She won't pressure you to explain if you're not ready. Instead, she quietly allows you the time you need, showing that her care doesn't depend on constant interaction. 3, she offers gentle encouragement. When she sees you discouraged or weighed down, she knows the right words or sometimes the right gestures to lift you up. It might be a simple reminder of your strengths, sharing something positive, or offering reassurance. This kind of encouragement is never forced. It comes from a genuine place of wanting you to see yourself through kinder eyes. 4, she asks questions with care. Rather than prying, she asks thoughtful questions that give you the option to share. Instead of pushing with, "What's wrong?" repeatedly, she might say, "You seem a little quieter today. Want to talk about it?" This small distinction shows sensitivity, allowing you to open up at your own pace. 5. She uses humor to lighten the mood. If she notices you're feeling weighed down, she might gently introduce humor. Not to dismiss your feelings, but to bring a little light back into the moment. A well-timed joke, a playful comment, or even reminding you of a funny memory can ease tension and make things feel less heavy. 6. She pays attention to small shifts. Some people only notice extreme emotions, but she notices even the subtle changes in your mood. Maybe she picks up on the fact that you're quieter than usual or that your smile doesn't fully reach your eyes. This awareness shows that she doesn't just see the surface, she's observant enough to recognize even the smallest differences in how you feel. 7. She balances conversation with listening. If she senses that you need to vent, she gives you the floor. If she feels you'd prefer silence, she doesn't fill the air with unnecessary words. This balance, knowing when to talk and when to listen, reflects emotional intelligence and respect for what you're going through. 8. She shifts plans without complaint. If she notices you're not in the mood for something you had planned, maybe going out, socializing, or doing something high energy, she adjusts without making you feel guilty. Instead of insisting, she finds an alternative that fits your mood better, showing flexibility and care. 9. She offers comfort in subtle ways. Sometimes her response to your mood isn't verbal at all. It could be making you a cup of tea, sharing something she thought might help, or simply being present beside you. These small gestures carry more weight than words because they show she's tuned in to what you need in the moment. 10. She remembers your emotional patterns. Over time, she learns how you tend to respond to stress, happiness, or frustration. This memory allows her to respond more effectively. If she knows you recharge best in quiet, she respects that. If she knows laughter helps you reset, she leans into that. This kind of memory shows she's not only noticing, but also caring enough to remember. 11. She validates what you feel. Instead of minimizing your emotions with phrases like, "It's not a big deal," or "Just get over it," she acknowledges what you're going through. She might say, "I can see why that would upset you," or "That sounds really tough." Validation shows she respects your feelings rather than dismissing them. 12. She stays consistent regardless of mood. Her attention doesn't fade just because you're not cheerful. Whether you're at your best or facing a difficult moment, she maintains her respect, patience, and warmth. This consistency demonstrates reliability. It shows you that she's not only present for the highs, but also for the lows. 7. She shows support in quiet, indirect ways. Support is not always loud, obvious, or dramatic. Sometimes it exists in the background, steady, consistent, and unspoken. True care often reveals itself not through big announcements, but in the quiet ways someone chooses to be present, to notice, and to help without needing recognition. When a woman likes you or deeply values you, she may not always come out and declare it directly. Instead, her affection often flows into small acts of support. Gestures that are easy to overlook, but powerful when you pay attention. These actions are indirect, yet they speak volumes about her, character, and the place you hold in her life. This article explores the many ways a woman shows her support quietly and indirectly. Each section highlights a different form of care, distinct, thoughtful, and non-repetitive, so you can better recognize the subtle signs of loyalty and encouragement that might otherwise go unnoticed. 1. She anticipates your needs without being asked. True support begins with attentiveness. When someone notices what you might need, even before you've spoken it, that's a strong indication of care. For example, if she sees you're tired, she may remind you to take a break. Or if you're stressed, she might adjust her tone to give you space rather than pressure. These acts don't demand acknowledgement. They simply reflect that she is tuned in to your well-being. Anticipating needs requires observation and thoughtfulness. It shows she's not just passively around you, but actively paying attention and looking for small ways to make things easier. 2. She offers steady encouragement in low-key ways. Encouragement doesn't always mean grand speeches. Sometimes it's a simple message of support before an important event or a short reminder like, "I know you'll handle this well." This quiet encouragement is powerful because it's consistent. Even if she doesn't make a big deal of it, her subtle reminders strengthen your confidence. Over time, you'll notice that she always finds a way to reassure you, just enough to remind you that you're not facing challenges alone. 3. She defends you in conversations without you knowing. One of the purest forms of indirect support is when someone stands up for you when you're not present. If others criticize you unfairly, she might shift the conversation, correct a misunderstanding, or highlight your strengths instead of letting negativity linger. What makes this meaningful is that she gains nothing from it personally. She doesn't defend you for recognition or thanks. She does it because she values you and wants others to see that as well. 4. She is present during difficult times. Quiet support often shows in moments of hardship. When things are going well, many people will celebrate with you, but when times are tough, fewer remain close. If she stays by your side during low points, whether through a message, a phone call, or just sitting with you in silence, that's a powerful signal of care. She may not always have the right words, but her presence alone communicates stability. It's a reminder that true support is not about fixing everything for you, but about refusing to let you face struggles alone. 5. She remembers the things that matter to you. Another quiet sign of support is memory. If she recalls your goals, milestones, or even small preferences, it shows she has been listening carefully. Later, she might check in and ask, "How did that presentation go?" Or "Wern, do you supposed to hear back about that project?" This level of attentiveness is not random, it's intentional. Remembering details is her way of showing that your journey matters to her, even if she's not directly involved in it. 6. She celebrates your wins without overshadowing them. When you achieve something, whether big or small, she doesn't compete with you or try to make the moment about herself. Instead, she celebrates you in a way that feels genuine. She may not throw a big party, but her words, smile, or simple recognition carry depth. Support in this form is about selflessness, being happy for your progress without needing to compare or seek attention. 7. She adjusts in ways that make things easier for you. Quiet support often looks like small adjustments she makes for your comfort or peace of mind. Maybe she's flexible with plans when she sees you're stressed, or maybe she lowers unnecessary demands when she knows you're focused on something important. These adjustments are not about sacrificing her identity, but about showing consideration. By easing your load, she sends a silent message. "I see what you're going through, and I want to make it a little lighter." 8. She respects your pace instead of pressuring you. Support also shows impatience. She understands that you may need time to process, think, or take steps at your own pace. Instead of rushing or pushing you, she respects where you are. This kind of patience is quiet but powerful. It communicates acceptance, not trying to mold you into her timeline, but respecting your own process. That respect is one of the clearest forms of indirect support. 9. She protects your space and energy. Sometimes support means not adding to your stress. If she senses you need rest, focus, or solitude, she may step back without making you feel guilty. This is an indirect way of caring for you, protecting your energy rather than demanding from it. It shows thoughtfulness and emotional awareness, both key elements of quiet support. 10. She expresses support through small acts of kindness. Sometimes it's the smallest things that leave the greatest impact. A thoughtful note, a small gesture of help, or checking in on how your day went are simple acts, but they carry emotional weight. These little moments, done consistently, create an environment of encouragement. It's not about grand displays. It's about weaving care into everyday interactions. She is loyal in subtle, unspoken ways. Support is often tied to loyalty. Even when things aren't easy, she doesn't distance herself. She remains steady even if she doesn't broadcast it. This quiet loyalty shows that her support isn't conditional on circumstances. It's rooted in genuine care that doesn't shift with convenience. 12. She notices and validates your efforts. Sometimes support is simply about acknowledgement. If she notices your hard work even when results aren't visible and says something encouraging, that's a form of indirect care. It means she sees beyond outcomes and values the effort you put in. That validation is deeply supportive because it reminds you that your dedication doesn't go unseen. She remains consistent even in small ways. Perhaps the strongest form of quiet support is consistency. It's not about one grand gesture, but about showing up regularly, whether in small check-ins, patience, or loyalty. Consistency builds trust. It's the unspoken promise that she's not only supportive when it's easy, but also in the ordinary everyday moments. This quiet dedication is one way love takes on a shape that fits into everyday life. Number 8, she makes you a part of her world. When someone truly values you, they don't just keep you at the edge of their life, they invite you in. A woman who makes you a part of her world is showing something profound. It means she feels a level of trust, comfort, and connection with you that goes beyond casual interaction. This act of inclusion doesn't always arrive with loud announcements. More often, it unfolds in quiet ways. The way she starts sharing her thoughts with you, involving you in her decisions, or weaving you into her daily routines. It is an act of opening her inner life to another person, something that requires courage and sincerity. Let's explore the many ways she might make you a part of her world and what each truly means. 1. She opens up about her past. A woman who wants you in her world will let you see the path she has walked. She shares memories of her childhood, experiences that shaped her, and the lessons she has carried forward. Sometimes these are light-hearted stories of fun times, while other times they may reveal moments of hardship. By telling you these stories, she is essentially giving you a map of how she became who she is. She isn't just recounting events, she's offering you pieces of her history that she doesn't share with everyone. It's her way of saying, I want you to understand where I come from. This openness builds a bridge between her past and your present role in her life. 2. She introduces you to her circle. Few things show deeper trust than being invited into the group of people she treasures. Friends and family are the heart of her world. By connecting you with them, she is showing that she doesn't see you as temporary. Whether it's inviting you to a family gathering, letting you meet her closest friends, or simply telling them about you in conversation, she is affirming that you have a place in her wider life. She wants the people she cares about to know you, and she wants you to know them. This step is about integration, not formality. It's a signal that she sees you as someone significant. 3. She brings you into her hobbies. Passions and hobbies are often deeply personal. When she invites you to experience them, she is sharing a piece of her identity. Maybe she asks you to join her in gardening, painting, hiking, or listening to her favorite music. Even if you don't share the same enthusiasm, she wants you to understand what sparks joy in her. This is more than just an activity. It is a glimpse into her inner world. She's giving you access to the things that inspire her. 4. She shares her daily routine with you. It might seem ordinary, but when she lets you into the flow of her everyday life, it's a meaningful gesture. She tells you about her morning coffee ritual, her favorite walking route, or how she likes to unwind after a long day. Sometimes she even includes you in these routines, whether by sending you a good morning message or inviting you to join her for her favorite weekend activity. These small details reflect comfort and trust. They show that she doesn't just want you for special occasions. She wants you in the regular rhythm of her life. 5. She lets you see her vulnerable side. Vulnerability isn't easy. Yet, when she shares her struggles, doubts, or insecurities with you, it's a clear sign that she feels safe around you. Maybe she talks about moments of self-doubt at work, times when she felt uncertain about a choice, or personal fears she is working through. These are not things people reveal lightly. By opening up this way, She's inviting you into the quieter, more fragile parts of her world. It shows that she doesn't just want you to see her strengths, but her humanity as well. 6. She involves you in decisions. When she values your input, whether it's about choosing a book, planning a trip, or even weighing bigger life decisions, it reflects respect and trust. This doesn't mean she relies on you to make decisions for her, but rather that she genuinely values your perspective. She wants you to be part of her decision-making process because she sees you as a partner in thought, not just an observer. This is a subtle but powerful way of weaving you into her world. 7. She includes you in her future plans. When she talks about things she wants to do, whether it's attending a concert, traveling somewhere new, or learning a new skill, and she naturally says we instead of I, it reveals her mindset. She isn't just seeing you in the present, she's imagining you in her future. This shift from me to us is one of the clearest signs that you are no longer outside her world, but firmly within it. 8. She shares her core values. A woman who invites you into her world will eventually share what she truly believes in. This goes beyond small talk. It's about principles, ethics, and personal convictions. She might talk about her views on kindness, integrity, or what she considers most meaningful in life. By doing so, she is showing you the foundation of her character. Sharing values is a way of saying this is who I am at my core. And by letting you see it, she is giving you a front row seat to the deepest part of her identity. 9. She makes you a part of her milestones. Important moments in life feel incomplete without certain people. When she wants you around during celebrations, challenges, or achievements, it means she views you as part of her inner circle. Whether it's a promotion at work, a personal project she's proud of, or even difficult moments where she needs support, your presence matters to her. You're not just a bystander, you're part of the journey. 10. She celebrates your wins too. It's not just about her. When she celebrates your achievements, encourages your growth, and supports your goals, she is making your world part of hers as well. This shows that she doesn't just want to be understood, she wants to understand you. Your victories feel like shared victories, and your challenges matter to her too. It's a two-way connection, and that's what makes her inclusion so genuine. 11. She shares her creative side with you. Creativity is deeply personal. If she shows you her writing, artwork, music, or even ideas she hasn't told others about, it's a sign of trust. Creative expression is often tied to vulnerability. By letting you into this part of her world, she is showing that she values your presence in her most authentic spaces. 12. She invites you into her traditions. Traditions, whether cultural, family-based, or personal, hold deep meaning. When she shares them with you, she is giving you access to something sacred in her life. It might be a holiday ritual, a favorite seasonal activity, or even a personal routine she has kept for years. Inviting you in means she wants you to experience the things that anchor her. 13. She lets you see her true personality. When she no longer feels the need to put up a social mask and instead acts freely around you, it's a major sign. She laughs in her natural way, shows her quirks, and speaks openly without fear of judgment. This kind of openness is her way of saying, I don't have to hide who I am with you. That's one of the strongest ways someone can make you part of their world. She shares her dreams and aspirations. Dreams are fragile because they exist, partly in hope and imagination. When she talks about her future ambitions, where she wants to live, what she wants to create, or the changes she hopes to see in her life, she is inviting you into her vision of the future. She's letting you see not just who she is, but who she hopes to become. 15. She blends her world with yours. Finally, one of the clearest signs that she's making you a part of her world is when she shows interest in your world too. She asks about your passions, wants to meet your friends, and remembers the details of your life. In doing so, she is not just bringing you into her world. She is building a bridge between both of your worlds, creating a shared space of connection. Number 9, she stays engaged even when she doesn't have to. Most conversations in daily life are short and functional. Someone asks, "How are you?" and the reply is, "I'm Finn." A quick smile, a polite nod, and the exchange ends. People are busy. They move from one task to another, often without lingering long enough to go beyond courtesy. That is why it feels different when someone chooses to stay engaged with you. When a woman keeps responding, listening, and showing interest, even when the situation doesn't require her to, it is not by accident. Engagement, like this, is deliberate. It reveals attention, interest, and care that go beyond surface-level politeness. She may not say it outright, she may not even fully realize she's doing it, but her actions speak. When she stays engaged, even in moments when she could easily drift away, it often means you occupy a special place in her thoughts. In this article, we'll explore what this hidden sign really means. We'll look at the many ways engagement shows up, why it matters, and how it quietly communicates more than words ever could. 1. The power of voluntary engagement. True engagement is different from obligation. For instance, a co-worker might answer your question because it's part of their role. A friend might nod along politely because it's expected in conversation. These moments are courteous, but they are not signs of deeper investment. When she stays engaged without obligation, it's voluntary. She doesn't have to ask you about your day, but she does. She doesn't need to reply to your message late at night, but she chooses to. That choice itself is significant. It shows that her attention toward you is not random, it's intentional. 2. She extends conversations beyond the basics. Most people end conversations at the first natural pause, but when someone likes being around you, they extend the moment. She may ask additional questions, share a story that connects to what you just said, or bring up a new topic to keep the interaction alive. For example, if you mentioned you went hiking over the weekend, she could simply respond with, "That's nice," but instead she might ask, "Where did you go?" or "Do you hike?" Often. That extra layer of curiosity shows she's invested in hearing more from you. 3. Engagement that shows through follow-ups. One of the clearest signs of true engagement is when she remembers something you mentioned earlier and circles back to it later. It could be as simple as, "How did that presentation go? You mentioned your car was in the shop. Did you get it back? You were reading a new book last week. What did you think of it?" These small follow-ups are powerful. They show that she not only listened but carried your words with her. Engagement is not limited to the moment. It lingers because you linger in her thoughts. 4. She makes time even when she's busy. Time is one of the most valuable things we all have. When someone gives you their time, especially when they don't have to, it speaks volumes. If she's busy but still replies thoughtfully, shows up to support you, or pauses her own work just to hear you out, it's a sign that she values the connection. She doesn't stretch her time like that for everyone. It's a choice she makes because being engaged with you matters to her. 5. She responds to the small things. Not every message or comment needs a reply. If you say something casual like, "I just saw the funniest thing today," most people might smile and move on, but she doesn't. She leans in, asks about it, and keeps the conversation flowing. Her responses show that she doesn't treat your words as throwaway comments. Even the little things you say hold value in her eyes. That's why she takes the time to respond thoughtfully. 6. She mirrors your energy. Human beings often mirror the people they feel connected to. If you're enthusiastic, she reflects that enthusiasm. If you're quieter, she settles into that quieter rhythm with you. This kind of adjustment takes effort, whether conscious or unconscious. It's her way of saying, "I want to share this space with you." Whatever mood you're in, she doesn't have to match your energy, but she does because your presence matters enough to influence hers. 7. She stays present during awkward pauses. Not every conversation flows perfectly. There are pauses, interruptions, or moments when neither person knows what to say. Most people take those as natural breaks and drift away. But if she stays, If she laughs off the silence, adds a new topic, or simply waits without discomfort, it means she doesn't want the interaction to end. Her willingness to remain present in less than perfect moments shows a deeper level of comfort and interest. 8. She finds gentle ways to involve you in her world. Engagement isn't always about direct conversation. Sometimes it's about inclusion. She might share a song she likes, mention a family tradition, or tell you about a challenge she's facing. Each of these moments is an invitation into her world. She doesn't need to share these details. She could keep things general, but when she chooses to bring you closer through personal details, it's a form of extended engagement. It's her way of saying, I want you to know me better. 9. She shows consistency over time. Anyone can stay engaged once or twice, but real interest shows up in consistency. If she continues to check in, listen, and respond over weeks or months, it's not a coincidence. It reflects steady investment. Consistency is one of the strongest indicators of genuine care. It means her engagement isn't temporary, it's a pattern. 10. Engagement in nonverbal ways. Staying engaged isn't only about words. Sometimes it's about how she listens. She maintains eye contact, nods at the right times, or smiles when you share something meaningful. Nonverbal cues show that she's not just hearing your words, she's absorbing them. It's a quiet but powerful way of saying, I'm here, and I value what you're sharing. 1. She adjusts her priorities for you. In life, people prioritize what matters most. If she rearranges her schedule, delays another task, or chooses to spend